So this is Friday, June 13th. Yesterday, the crypto market dropped quite a bit because somebody decided to attack somebody else. And the market makers out there on the various exchanges, in my opinion, said, hey, great time to start liquidating people before the market runs. But let's talk about the crypto market in general. I'm Brian. I'm a big dumb animal. Don't do what I do. Informational purposes only. That's my disclaimer. As you can see, I just have a t-shirt on. I was thinking about putting on a suit. I thought that would look nice. Actually, I have some nicely tailored three-piece suits. I thought that would look very good, but I didn't. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll shave. And then I didn't. So I'm going to put myself in a tiny little window so you don't have to look at me. Let's just look at the content. Actually, I'm curious. How many of you, when you watch my videos, take a sticky note and put it over my face? I have a weird sense of humor, but that would be pretty funny, right? Like, oh my gosh, I have to look at this guy. The content's good, but the guy, not so much. I'll just put a sticky note right there. So let's look at the total market, what I think is going on now and next week, and where I believe it's going. Let's start with the total market. Theoretically represents all crypto. 3.24 trillion. You can see this is a daily chart that yesterday it dropped quite a bit. And if you look at the past, this goes back to December. It's just kind of been in a sideways trend. As we all know, it went down March and April and back up, the total market. But if you look at yesterday's dip, even though you might be looking at your crypto thinking, oh my gosh, everything's going down and getting destroyed. Well, look, just a couple days ago, it had the same drop. Back here, it had big drops, big drops, big. It's not uncommon. What does matter is whether or not we think the trajectory of the market is this way going up or that way going down. That's going to determine what we're going to do if we're holding crypto as spot traders. Others market, again, theoretically, this is, I believe it's the top 125, as one of the people pointed out, Matthew, who I correspond with quite a bit, brilliant guy. He pointed out that, hey, it's not just all altcoins. They do the top 125 market cap, does not include the top 10, Bitcoin, Ethereum, some stable coins. Okay, so theoretically, everyone looks at this and says, this is going to be representative of the altcoins. Now, what is interesting is even though total market, it's come down over since last November, this is on balance volume. So this is buying or selling pressure. And it's pretty high right now in this time. It's about the same as it was back here when it was higher. That's a good thing. That means we've got some buying pressure to push things up. But it's nowhere near 2021's high. Altcoins really haven't moved. As you probably know, we want to see the Bitcoin dominance. It's at 65%. The highest it has been was a little over 65%. So it's still pretty much at its all-time high for this cycle. That still hasn't dropped yet. Ethereum in relation to Bitcoin. This is 2021. You can see where Ethereum started to outperform Bitcoin in a big way. Over the last 2 years, Bitcoin has been outperforming Ethereum. Now Ethereum finally started to move. It's gone a little sideways. It's stalled out a little bit. But we believe it's on the uptrend, which is good. Now, we want Bitcoin dominance to drop. Again, that doesn't mean the Bitcoin price needs to drop. We can have the Bitcoin price continue to rise and Ethereum continue to rise. We want to see Ethereum with higher percentages gains than Bitcoin. That's what this is showing, that it's outperforming it. When will Bitcoin dominance drop for good? We saw some big drops here. Well, most people point to this, the Pi cycle top indicator. When these two moving averages cross, within 3 days, Bitcoin dominance seems to drop. That hasn't happened yet. So we're not yet in that cycle. Now let's just look two more things here. If we look at Bitcoin and we overlay the money supply, why would we do that? Well, as I said, this is Friday, January 13th. June 13th. Big dumb animal. Next week, June 18th. That's when the Fed is to announce whether or not they're going to lower rates at that particular meeting. Personally, I don't believe it's necessary. I think it will be like adding some gas to the fire, but because of where the global money supply is, I don't think it's really necessary. So if you overlay, the blue line here is money supply. Now, there are many different, this is a daily chart. This is a lag, meaning it takes a while for the price of Bitcoin and crypto to catch up to the money supply. This is a 70-day lag, which is 10 weeks. Two more popular ones. You can see where it sort of moves, like money supply going down, Bitcoin price going down, money supply going up, Bitcoin price going up. So some people say 70 days, 10 week is a good correlation. There's many that talk about 87, which is about, I guess, almost a little over 12 weeks. And then you can make your arguments whether it's correlated here or not. Right here kind of dropped, but we all know it doesn't help when two countries attack each other. And then 107, which is more like 15 weeks. I've seen that before. But here's what matters. You probably noticed. It's just going up. And from this point, it's going up. So generally speaking, personally, I believe that the total market is going to start rocketing up. Others as well, once we see more money move into Ethereum. And Ethereum, since April, has gone up from 1,500 to 2,500. And the other day, it hit almost 2,800. That's on an uptrend. So what would you do here? Well, there are, I think, some deals, because what's interesting is if you believe some of these exchanges are highly manipulative, I believe they can be. Take a look at this. Let me just give you an idea here. This is today, yesterday, the 12th, and the 11th. If you had entered futures, actually yesterday, at the beginning of the day, if you had entered a futures contract and you used leverage, I did the math, anything over a 5x on HBAR, 6x, 8x, 10, 20, 50, whatever, you would have been liquidated. It has dropped that far that you would have been liquidated. Anything, see this black line here, any entry points going back to April 23rd, if you have any entry points, except for down here, above this black line, all of this, whoever entered into futures contracts, it doesn't matter if it was a 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, all the way up, you were liquidated. All these people were liquidated. From what I saw, well over 100,000 people were liquidated. You're wondering, what does that mean? Well, if you have futures, you have a liquidation price because you're using leverage. I did a video on it if you're interested, just the basics. But when we have a big event, like two major people fighting online, or someone implementing tariffs on someone else, or one country attacks another, those are big headlines. And then these market makers, these exchanges, can kind of manipulate the market in such a way that they can drop prices and liquidate all these people. And by the way, theoretically, which I think I've used that word like 10 times, I got to stop. Since I do believe the market, total market, is going to be rocketing up because of money supply going up. And the June 18th next week is the Fed. If they were to also cut rates, that's yet another catalyst. I don't think it's necessary, but perfect timing for these two countries to attack so that these exchanges could liquidate as many people as possible in their positions and clean the slate before we really take off. I think next week will be very telling, and I think a lot of things will start to move. I'm going to lastly just say, I'm going to do a video tomorrow, which I think you're going to want to see, regarding Coinbase and what they're doing with two of the major DeFi applications. One is Arrow, you're probably familiar with. Now, it started to rocket yesterday. Actually, it was showing a down today, but it's already back up. It did not have the down trajectory. Why? Because Coinbase had a big announcement regarding Arrow, and I think this is a great one, as well as Morpho, and I'll go into why tomorrow. So I'm going to put out that video tomorrow on Arrow and Morpho and what's going on and why I think those two are just getting started with regard to what Coinbase is doing with them. I do have a school community down below if you're interested. There's a link. You can join. It does have a monthly fee. I've got courses if you like the way I teach on all sorts of things, daily discussions on the market, and then individual crypto we discuss as well. Please do like and subscribe. Have a great day. Hope we can all make generational wealth together in this crypto bull cycle. Thanks for watching.